Welcome everyone. So this is a squat day and this was from Thursday. Now this wasn't ideal because of how the gym opening times had fallen over the holiday period. I had to train legs twice in 2 days. So this was the second time I was training, so things weren't feeling quite as good as I'd liked. They felt a bit heavier than normal. If you are strength training, you really want to be leaving at least 48 hours, if not 72 hours, between training the same body parts. Obviously we couldn't do that because of the holiday opening hours, so we have to work with what we've got. Now, this would have been a light squat day, so if things had been fine, my ribs had been fine and such like, I'd have probably done around 170, 175 for full squats. And being a light day, I would have done 4 sets of 6. Now, obviously with training being a bit different to actually working around the injury, I did swap things up a bit. I did 4 sets of 4 with 170. I wanted to be able to handle some heavier weight rather than keeping it low all the time. So I kept the actual sets slightly lower, and once I'd finished them, I moved on to actually doing a bit more explosive work, a bit more volume work. So as you can see here, I moved on to doing 140 kilo, and I did 4 sets of 6 with this to actually make up the volume and the work capacity. Whilst doing pause box squats, you want to make sure that you're not releasing completely. You want to relax the hip flexors, but actually keeping tension and keeping controlled motion. Pause for a second and explode off the box, making sure that you keep your knees pushed out. You may notice that the box is actually at or slightly above parallel. Now, you can work to that for some time, however, you do ideally want to have a box that is below parallel, so you're actually squatting to the correct depth that you would be using in competition. Now, normally the box I actually use when I'm doing these in a normal run-of-the-mill sort of setting is below parallel, but obviously with the current issues that I'm dealing with, slightly above parallel does actually alleviate some of the pressure off my ribs and makes it easier to continue. So in this instance, I've used that variation, but normally I would recommend dropping the box down a little bit. Now, I was really keen to actually get back to doing some deadlifting of some sort. If this injury carries on for a while, I need to actually have some idea of what I'm going to be doing at the competition. So I moved on to doing some speed work for my next accessory movement. Now, I chose to do sumo deadlifts, as this would actually put less strain on my ribs than actually bending over further for a conventional deadlift. I alleviated the potential issues even further by actually having this slightly raised on the rack. I was quite happy with these as I didn't have major issues and everything felt fairly comfortable, so if need be I might use a sumo in competition, but ideally I want to stick to my conventional. So that concluded my training session for the day. So if you've got any questions or comments, let me know and I'll speak to you next time. Cheers guys.